Alright guys, so let's check on the fermenter, shall we? See how we're doing. Actually, I need to lift my box off here. Alright. That's my box that covers the fermenter. And I've got these cold bottles under here. So I'm keeping the fermenter about 70 degrees. Got a bit of krausen going there. Trying to get this thing to focus. But yeah. Now here's the collection jar. You can see, kind of hard to tell with this porter. But when I switch to secondary, I'll video that as well here. But I wanted to show you just what it looks like. But yeah, airlock, bubbling away, nice and slowly. But yeah, under here, I just got these ice bottles, keeping this whole thing cold inside my DIY box here. Working pretty good. But yeah, I don't know if you guys can see this. We actually have a lot of protein. Actually looks like I have a clog here. See all that protein? Just kind of settling out on the bottom here. Not really going into the jar. I don't know if you guys can really see it very well, but right here is all this protein. So it looks like I might have it just building up on the sides of my fermenter on the bottom here as well. So I'm hoping that all falls down, or I might end up actually switching to another big jar on this thing. But I use a Werflock tablet, and I think that's what's going on. We got a little bit of some separation there. I mean, this is all the way around here's protein. So it'll be interesting when I go to empty this thing later. So we'll keep tracking it. Alright guys, so we are 2 days later on the fermenting here, and we are still bubbling away here. This thing's been doing a great job. My ice box here has been doing a great job of keeping this cool. And if you'll notice, that Trub that was all that protein and everything is all gone. It's actually fallen even further down into here, and you can see it. I don't know if you can really see it. I should have done a lighter beer, a lighter color, so you can really witness this. But a lot of that protein is really falling down in here. It's like really just all in this jar. And we have quite a bit still here. So, I mean, it's definitely falling down into the conical, or the cone bottom, and into the jar. And you can still see it's still got a nice head of krausen going in here. Definitely a nice healthy fermentation going on. No bacterium signs or anything, but yeah, it's definitely fermenting well inside this thing. And I've been keeping it temp controlled with just 2 ice bottles underneath the stand. So this is going to work out great. I think I have enough room here to actually maybe have 2 side by side. That's my grandfather there. But anyways, this beer was put to ferment last Thursday, and it basically didn't really start actively fermenting for about 3 days. The yeast was real slow to start, but it's doing the job. It's definitely fermenting now, and it's exciting. And I think I'm just going to let it go until I see no more krausen on top and it starts to really settle out and clear. That's one thing I do like about this thing, is the way the krausen sits on top. It's just real level and awesome. So I mean, there you go. You can see how nice and clear the fermenter is. And you can see that the krausen is just nice and straight across, and you can see here some proteins and stuff starting to kind of fall. So I'm thinking this thing's going to ferment for probably another 3 days or so, and then we'll start looking at it clarifying some. So yeah, I just wanted to share this with y'all real quick, and we will get back to this here in a couple of days and see how the progress is going. Alright guys, so here we are, I don't know, about 6 days into fermentation here. I brought a light this time so you can see better. You can see my krausen here is settling out. We're approaching the end of the fermentation. Still got some bubbling going on here. And I wanted to show you this. Look at that protein. All the fats and protein, and even got a little bit of a yeast layer there on the bottom. And you can see down here, still got a lot of yeast and protein settling out down here. And yeah, everything's just kind of flowing down into the bottom here. Look at all that, all collecting in the jar. That's awesome. See, I got the light on the other side. You can't even see the light through that, but I'm using my phone light. But I mean, look at that. You can see it all starting to kind of fall from the krausen. But this thing is working perfect for a conical. I can see everything just steadily settling and going down into the jar. And I'm probably going to let this go into midway next week until I see some real clarification starting to happen up here. And then at that point I will change to another jar. But yeah, you can see these are my ice bottles. That's why they're done. And by the way, that still continues to perform well. My box that I put over this that I made is doing a great job of keeping this temperature low. So, and this fermenter's been sitting around 68 degrees most of the time. But yeah, you can see the krausen is really starting to kind of fall apart now, and we were definitely entering the end of the fermentation. And we got right about just over 5 gallons there. So I'll probably end up bottling or kegging just under 5 gallons, but just wanted to show y'all with the light what we're looking at here. But yeah, all just kind of settling down. You can see the yeast here just falling down in there, and it's all, the liquid is getting displaced and moving up, and all the fats and stuff are settling in at the bottom. So we will do another update here soon. Alright guys, so we're about 10 days into fermentation here. This took a while to actually kick off. It's not the actual container's fault, but actually the choice of yeast I used. That particular pack took a while to get going, and it was a Y yeast, so it was a smack pack. I thought it would actually take off sooner, but it didn't. So anyways, you can see my Trub jar is quite full. It's time to swap this thing out, put another Trub jar on, and dump the remaining Trub that's sitting in this cone, bottom cone piece here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and what you need is any kind of bowl will do. So I'm just gonna put the bowl under, because when I do this, we're gonna have a little bit of some drippage and everything. So, and over here I've got a sanitized glass ready to go. Yes, there's air in it. I'm not worried about it. It's not that much air. There's a lot of CO2 in this solution still. So as soon as I put this in, we're gonna have some airlock activity probably anyways. So I'll let you know how it turns out either way. So anyways, let's go ahead and close the valve. Next, I want to unscrew this thing. And people said that sometimes when they're trying to unscrew the jar, the valve turns, so just make sure you're holding the valve while you're holding the jar and turn it. And we will go ahead and, oh yeah, this is why you need a bowl. So, now, let me get a towel, real quick. I got the other jar out of the way, so let's put the sanitized jar on. And yes, it's empty, like I said, I'm not worried about that. Screw it on real good. Nice and snug, and then we're going to dump the treat. And yes, plus it disturbs all the crap on top, so you can get that to all kind of fall down as well. So anyways, you can see everything's already starting to settle down in the second jar. And you can see all the CO2 foamed up, and look at the airlock. Airlock is pushing all that out, so I really don't think you need to worry about the oxygen introduction part to your brew. It's going to be bubbling out CO2, and the oxygen is going to go with it. And I believe Craft the Brew or somebody on the forums for this particular item demonstrated with dye that the air actually went straight to the top pretty much in a dye test. So anyways, I'll probably will swap out the airlock anyways because it got a little bit of some stuff in it doing that. But I'm gonna let this go for at least another week, and then we will be transferring to bottles or kegs depending on if I have a keg available. So anyways, we'll see you when it's time to transfer.